All right, everybody, we are officially live, and today we're talking about massive Facebook mistakes that I see realtors making and how you can fix them really easily. So welcome to Office Hours. My name is Chris Donaldson, and you are in my, now studio office, as you can see. And if you've never been here before, this show is all about real estate. We discuss everything and anything under the real estate umbrella, from marketing to risk management, industry gossip, anything that I can do to help you have a better, sustainable, and profitable real estate business now and into the future. So if you've never been a part of Office Hours before, we love to go live. And the reason we like to go live is for you. Number one, there's nothing more exciting than live television. And number two, this is a Q&A show. So while today we're talking about Facebook marketing and advertising, if you have a question, either during the show about the content that we're talking about today or anything real estate related, please feel free below in the Facebook comments. Give us your question, and my lovely off-camera assistant Hannah over here will pass them along to me, and I'll be monitoring here online as well. So, guys, I want to start off today's show with a couple of quotes. Here we are on Facebook Live, right? We're on Facebook Live on Office Hours. Obviously, social media is a huge component of the modern world. The mobile social media component is a huge part of the modern world. Well, one of my favorite quotes that kind of encapsulate it is from a guy named Chris Smith of Curator, and he says that Facebook is the internet. And I think that's the best way to put it, that in modern times, Facebook is the internet. So if you're going to be marketing listings, real estate in any way, shape, or form, a strategy that doesn't include Facebook and the proper use of Facebook is probably going to struggle. Here's another quote from the famous social media guru Gary Vaynerchuk, who says social media is just a slang term for the current state of the internet. In other words, Internet 1.0, Internet 2.0, we're in 3.0 and beyond, which is social media is the internet. People just like to use the term as some separate piece. Well, maybe at one time it was, but now it isn't. So let's talk about Facebook, because here we are on Facebook Live. And as somebody that's in the business of real estate profession and educating you guys, coaching and speaking, I've got more real estate Facebook friends, both locally and from around the country, than probably about anybody. And so what that affords me the opportunity to do is see a ton of Facebook marketing, advertising, and stuff, let's just say, from real estate agents, both locally and from around the country. And what I've been noticing are three huge, big mistakes that real estate agents are making when they're putting good faith efforts into marketing on Facebook, like a new listing, things that are happening. They're actually using Facebook to try to promote the listing, but they're making big mistakes. But the good news is they're really easy to fix. So if you're excited about learning about three distinct mistakes that even you might be making when you're marketing and advertising your real estate on Facebook, give me a like, give me a heart, give me a comment. I'm so glad to see that you guys are here. Let me make sure that I know that you want a piece of this action here, because I'm going to get tactical today. You know, sometimes in Office Hours, we talk about theory. Sometimes in Office Hours, it's all about my guest. Well, this week, it's going to be all about you and giving you tactics and practical strategies so that if you're one of these guilty parties, I'm going to help you fix it up. Sound like a plan? Let's rock and roll. So let me tell you what the first one is. And this is a big one. And this goes into the idea of simply posting a listing on Facebook that you're marketing. So it's hard enough to get a listing, especially if you're a new real estate agent. And then you go through the trouble of setting up your Facebook business page, and then you're going to put that listing advertisement out there. The number one mistake that I see, the number one, is you're linking from your own Facebook post to another site that's out of your control. And that makes absolutely no sense. So in other words, you're putting up your listing advertisement, you're putting up your marketing piece, you got great pictures, you wrote a great description, it's your listing, and then the link, if I click on your ad, is bringing me to realtor.com. Or the link, if I click on the ad, is bringing me to Zillow. Or the link, when I click on the ad, is bringing me to the MLS generic page that's set up by simply posting a listing in the MLS. Guys, would you send out a letter or an advertising piece and put somebody else's phone number on it? It doesn't make any sense. So we're creating these marketing pieces, and then you're sending your traffic somewhere else. Like if you're sending it to realtor.com, you might be sending people to the site that are then off in realtor.com land that you may never get back. And you're allowing them to get trapped by possible advertisers or Zillow, premier agents that are paying for those buyer leads. So I want you guys to understand that when you're marketing, you need to have a purpose. You need to remember, what is the point of marketing this listing? Well, number one, it's for attention. But number two, when that user, the target person, the potential buyer, clicks on your Facebook marketing, I want it to go to a site that you control. So if you're an area, as an example, where as an agent or a broker, you have an IDX feed or something similar where people could search for properties on your website, I want your Facebook marketing piece about your listing to go to your website, not realtor.com, to your website. If you are in an area like my local market doesn't allow agents to have their own IDX feeds, and I'm not going to get into that argument of why or why not, but you could set up a landing page on your website for that listing. So in other words, you get them to a site that you do control before they go elsewhere. In other words, don't link people to other places that you don't control. It's no different than putting someone else's phone number on a listing flyer. I mean, would you just put the board and the MLS's phone number on a flyer? It doesn't make any sense. So controlled traffic is king, because controlled traffic is where you can capture those leads, you can remarket to them, but most importantly, you are not spending your advertising time, efforts, and energy sending people somewhere else. So my number one tip for you guys is not to link out to sites that you don't control. I talk all the time about the 2 pillars of digital marketing, and what I'd like to see is for you to link them either to your website or back to your own Facebook business page to collect their information or to give them more information, or at least have that information in an area that you control before you send them elsewhere. So don't market and send them elsewhere. That's my number one Facebook tip for today. So hopefully, guys, you understand the importance of that. And I'm going to show you a couple examples in a little bit. If that helps you, if you've done that before, if you're guilty of getting excited about your listing and maybe linking them directly to the MLS, not realizing that it's not a huge deal, but it is a big mistake in terms of the efficiency of your marketing, give me a comment, give me a like, give me something. Let me know if you've done this. Let's work together and let's decide we're not going to send people through our hard-earned marketing elsewhere. That's my first tip. Hannah, are we good on the broadcast? Sound is good? Everything's good? Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is about the obvious purpose of marketing and advertising is what's going to happen to that user when they see your marketing. In other words, are you creating intrigue that makes them want to know more or to get in touch with you, or will actually drive them to your website or to your Facebook page? Or are you just giving them everything they could possibly ever want to know about the property to where you're giving me no reason to need to click? So I'm going to give you some food for thought. And that is, why give them the address and the price on the very first initial announcement or even coming soon, especially of a new listing? So bear with me here for a minute. Why would I send a coming soon and give you the address and give you maybe even the price? And here's the picture. And then, well, if I want to know any more information, I don't have to click. I don't have to go to your website. I don't have to go to your Facebook business page. You're giving it to me right up front. And I want you guys to understand that the goal of a marketing piece is to add exposure to the property, but it's also to get people to interact with you. Because a potential buyer, remember, that may be interested in that listing may also be interested in 10 others. So they're shopping and they could become your client because you drove them to your Facebook business page or to your website. But unfortunately, if your ads got the price, the address, the pictures, all of the terms and conditions, you're not really giving me any intrigue. So if you set up a marketing piece that says all the great attributes of the property, beautiful picture, best home in Metairie, you've got to see this. Click here for the price and location. That's what I would like to see, especially for brand new listings. Don't give away every important piece of information up front in the ad. You're not giving them a reason to click or to interact. You're not going to be able to capture that traffic on your website. You're not going to be able to create those leads, because if they can just scroll through the feed and see everything that they need, your ad really is serving no different purpose than if I was on Realtor.com. So think about TV series and think about dramas. How often do they leave you with a cliffhanger? And then you've got to wait till after the commercial break in order to see what happened to a particular character. Or you've even got to come back next week. While we say, oh, it's so annoying, it works, doesn't it? The show drags you in and then leaves you hanging to keep you there. So marketing and advertising, especially when you're trying to build intrigue with the market about a new listing, give them a reason to be interested. Give them a reason to be curious. And so therefore, don't give them all of the information up front. Make it so intriguing that I've got to click on that because I want to know where it is. I want to know how much it is. So my big mistake number 2 that I see is just giving away everything up front when you're putting that listing out there on Facebook, rather than giving people a reason to interact with your ad, to click on it, to comment. I mean, what is the value if somebody comments on your ad, hey, Chris, how much? Now I can start a conversation with that potential buyer. Now I can get into the details of, well, are you working with an agent? Are you looking to buy or sell? What's going on? You could create those relationships. But if you're not giving people a reason to interact, then your ad may not be doing as well as it probably could. So my number 2 huge mistake that I see out there is people just giving away all the information, which takes away the intrigue. All right? If you've been guilty of doing that one, let me know in the comments. Give me a like, give me a heart. I'm doing this for you guys. So hopefully you're getting something out of this. Hannah, how we doing over there? Everybody's good? Thank you guys for joining us. I love seeing y'all. Hopefully you're enjoying the new office/studio here. Feels good to be in the bright lights and in front of you fine folks here live during the Lunch and Learn version. Okay, my 3rd tip. And I want you guys to bust out a notebook for this one, because this is the big one. This is going to be the tactical one where I'm really going to give you some strategy here that I want to see you use. And that is the number 3 big mistake that I see agents making on Facebook is not spending any money. In other words, they're not even paying to actually promote, market, or advertise the listing. They're just hoping that organic reach will get it done. You've got to have amazing content, interesting information, and reasons to get people to share organic. But for just a few dollars, you can make sure that that listing that's marketed appropriately, that's linking to somewhere that you control, that's leaving them with intrigue, actually gets in front of the people that might buy that house. So here's a stat for you. The last time I checked, there were approximately 60 million Facebook business pages out there. So that's 60 million businesses, professionals, business pages. And only 6.7% of those pages have ever even advertised on Facebook. Think about that. So you've got 60 million Facebook pages. And while it may seem like there's a whole lot of Facebook marketing and advertising out there, only 6.7% of these businesses are even spending $1 to market and advertise. That's shocking to me. So what I want you guys to understand, as of now, you could still get a huge bang for your buck because Facebook has still got a lot of room to grow, both in terms of size of the number of advertisers and also the pricing model. So as an example, when you're going to set up a listing marketing advertisement, you are going to promote your client's listing because you are trying to find that ready, willing, and able buyer. Well, first of all, you need to be thinking about who is the avatar here? Who is going to possibly buy this house? Who are the types of people that might be interested in this? And so one of the best tricks is to reverse engineer, to go backwards. So my reference point would be this. How about the National Association of Realtors, their profile of home buyers and sellers? That tells you who's buying, how old they are, what kind of money they're making, whether they tend to be married couples or single, and et cetera, the demographics of who's buying houses. So as an example, if you have a great listing that's obviously perfect as a starter home or something for a first-time home buyer, well, the median age for first-time home buyers, according to NAR, is 32. And not only is it 32, but they typically tend to be employed and married. That's just the demographics. So what I can do on Facebook is get in there with this nice marketing piece that I'm setting up for my listing and target, let's say, 26 to 40-year-olds in my region or my zip codes or my reasonable market area, and I can target this listing ad towards people that might actually buy it. So I'm not just sending it to everybody, including teenagers and so on, but also, here's the mistake I see people making that do spend money. So if you do spend money on Facebook marketing, listen to this. The number one mistake I see is that when they spend money, real estate agents, they're only sending the ad they're spending money on to the people that like their page. Guys, the people that like your page is not the audience, just the audience that you're trying to reach with that listing ad. Because you can click on into Facebook. I can see, when I see all these ads, I can see why you targeted me. And it says, because you like their page. And I'm just going, man, you could be doing more with that money. So in other words, try multiple approaches. All of your fans, maybe all of your leads and your database, and then maybe the demographic makeup. So we're not talking about fair housing stuff, right? We're talking about age, whether they're employed, the type of people that the research reports say would buy your type of house. So if you're setting up your ad that's not linking away, that's linking to controlled traffic, and then number two, you're leaving intrigue by not giving them every detail, giving that person a reason to comment or to click or to ask or to go to your site. And then number three, you are actually paying to get that advertisement in front of the people that might actually purchase that listing. Now you've fixed easily the three biggest mistakes that I see, and they're really easy to fix. So if you fix 1, 2, and 3, I bet you will see a dramatic increase in the effectiveness and the importance of your Facebook marketing and advertising. So in other words, in conclusion, guys, don't get locked in to just doing it one way because that's what you have done before. And also understand that improvements can be little tweaks. I mean, for us guys, every time we do something social, like the live show like this, I'm going to analyze and see, how did it go? Were people interested in the topic? Was it long enough? Was it short enough? Did enough people see it on the various platforms? And we're constantly tweaking, and we're constantly changing, and we're going to constantly try new things. So I'm going to tell you, with the millennials being the big generation coming up that's going to be buying and selling houses in the next 5 to 10 years, they're all on Facebook. And if you're a professional real estate agent, they're going to be looking for you to be able to have the knowledge of Facebook and how you're going to use it to sell their house. But also for you, you should be using it for the opportunity to have better marketing that's less expensive, and for the opportunity to bring in more leads that are going to do business with you. So that's what I want to see, guys. I want to see better Facebook marketing. I want to see you guys fix these 3 big mistakes. They're easy to fix. So hopefully, if you haven't already fixed these 3 mistakes, go ahead and do them. It doesn't make you guilty, doesn't make you a bad agent. It just means that these are little things that I noticed that I'd like to see folks tweak. So now let me give you a couple of tech tools and hints that'll help you along the way in getting this done. So guys, make sure if you want a couple of tech tools that I can show you to make this easier, comment below. Let me know. Let me know that you want some of these tech hints, because I'm going to push a few buttons and show you a couple of easy ways to do this. And just like everything else, just like office hours, like everything that we do here, the things that I'm going to offer you are going to be 100% free. So we love that here on Office Hours. So real quick, if you were not here at the beginning, or if this may be your first time seeing Office Hours, my name is Chris Donaldson, and Office Hours is a show about real estate. And it's a show about everything under the umbrella of real estate, from marketing, advertising, risk management, and just building a better and sustainable real estate business. So today we're talking about Facebook. And I've identified, just watching real estate agents get into Facebook marketing more and more, that there's 3 big mistakes that are being made and easy ways to fix them. So don't forget, one of the reasons I love doing this show live is for your questions. So we're going to get into Q&A after I show you my last couple of tips here. So if you have a question, if you have something specific, either related to marketing and advertising on Facebook or something else real estate related, that's what this show is all about. We're doing it for you. And so I'm here to answer your questions if I can help. All right. So the first tech tool that I want to give you guys, and I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see it, is a tool that's affectionately called Bitly. And what Bitly is if you've ever seen these all over social and all over the web, it allows you to take what might be a really long web address, first of all. So maybe your site, that's your profile page on your broker's website, is your website, but the URL is just huge and it's long. Well, one thing that Bitly allows you to do, Hannah, we can see that okay on the live, is it allows you to take a long address and make it really short. And then number 2, Bitly allows you to log in, which initially for your first few URLs and your first few campaigns is 100% free. What it allows you to do is to track where people have come from that are clicking on your marketing. So you can take the same Bitly link and put it on your Facebook ad. And then you could take the same Bitly link and put it in your email blast. You can take the same Bitly link and put it on your Twitter post. And then you can log in after you've been marketing and advertising and see what your advertising, what arena is giving you the traffic. So after a couple of days of marketing, if I'm looking on my Bitly board and it's telling me 75% of the people that have clicked that they want to learn more about this listing are coming from Facebook, I might shut down the Twitter campaign and double down on Facebook because it's working. You see, it's one of my favorite stories, and I'm going to try to click back to me here real quick. It's one of my favorite stories, but when I really... And no offense to the Yellow Pages, but when I fired the Yellow Pages, in other words, went from spending thousands of dollars a month to just a few dollars a month. was for the simple fact that we had tracking numbers on our Yellow Page ads. And the reason for that is, I just want to know. I will pay for anything, a billboard, a postcard. If it works, I will use it. Well, by having tracking phone numbers, by not using our regular phone number, I was able to see how many people in the previous year had actually called us from the Yellow Page book. Now, this is back in 2012, 2013. What do you think those numbers looked like? Well, we were in every book in our region, every small town, every single book, because we had been for 30 years. Guys, 4 phone calls. 4 for the year. And 1 was the same sweet little old lady that called us twice. The point of that is, and relating it to Bitly, if I had not had tracking numbers, I may not know necessarily, without other fancy tools to manage, whether the phone calls had come from the Yellow Pages or from Google or from Facebook. Well, once I saw that, I realized if we're out of the book altogether, we're losing 4 phone calls a year. I'm willing to take that gamble or significantly decrease my marketing spend. So what I want you guys to understand is Bitly is one of the many free tools that it's out there. It's the one that I like to use, where if you're setting up an advertising campaign, you have a landing page, right? Either your website or your Facebook page you want everybody to go to. Create the Bitly link, and you will know what of your marketing and advertising efforts is producing results so that you can double down, triple down, quadruple down. So if that was helpful, guys, and I'll put Bitly back up here for just a minute for those of you just to make sure that you've got the web address. If that was helpful, please let me know. Give me a comment. Give me a like. I'm doing this show for you guys, so if you're not getting anything out of it, we may disappear for a while. So make sure. I think this is a really good one, and I really want to make sure that we're giving you the value and helping you out. All right, so Hannah, we doing all right over there? We got any questions that have popped up?
Just people wanting to know. Let's see here. Nothing that you haven't addressed already.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, well, so listen, the last thing I want to ask you guys, whether you're watching the live stream or if you're watching us on the recording, which we will post this on YouTube, we will post this elsewhere. The last question I have for you is, we have done office hours now for a little over a year. We're at 25 episodes. And traditionally, we've done it on Wednesday nights during prime time, 7 or 8 o'clock. And we've done a few, which I call kind of the lunch and learn episodes like this one, around noontime. So what I really want to know from you guys is, when would you prefer me to do office hours going forward? Please vote in the comments and let me know. If you like the Wednesday night prime time slot, let me know. You like prime time. If you prefer the lunch and learn or the daytime slot, put daytime. So if you like it in prime time, please put prime time. If you like daytime, put daytime. Because remember, we're doing this show for you. And I want to make sure that if I'm going to be broadcasting to you guys, I want it to be the most convenient time for you. Because for me, going live is something that we can set up any day at any hour of the week. So the last thing before we go that I want to leave y'all with is right now, especially for my Louisiana agents, over at the school, Donaldson Real Estate School, that I owed him and the CEO, we've got a massive early bird CE special going on right now. And guess what? We're marketing through all avenues, including we sent postcards because they still work. But if you guys need your continuing education in Louisiana, we've got packages where 12 hours online for only $45 or 12 hours live in the classroom, including the broker mandatory. That's a unique requirement this year for only $55. So that is savings of over 50%, especially for the live classes. We are running that special only through September 22nd. So go over to the school's website. Hannah, put it in the comments for me. DonaldsonEducation.com/real estate. DonaldsonEducation.com/real estate. If you sign up for your CE by September 22nd, we're giving you massive discounts. So we'd love to see you. If you're getting value out of office hours, we'd love to have you as a customer for the continuing ed, because everybody's got to do their continuing education every year. So again, thank you so much for your time and for your efforts. We love having you here. Make sure, if you're not, to go over to my website, which is christalks.com, and sign up for the office hours mailing list. You'll get show notes after these live broadcasts, first to know when we're doing new ones, and most importantly, you will be on top of this real estate industry that we all know and love. So guys, thank you so much again for joining us on Office Hours. I'll be watching the comments and I'll be watching the stream even after we go away from live. So if questions pop in your head, hit us up. And be sure to add to the waiting list, or to the email list rather, and make sure, if you need your continuing ed, to go over to DonaldsonEducation.com, because we're offering massive discounts. My name is Chris Donaldson. I will see you next week, either in prime time or during the daytime, depending on what you request, on the next episode of Office Hours.